This video is going to be about why it's more important to start and be consistent than it is to be good at the beginning. Let's go. I actually had this idea not too long ago to reach out to a lot of entrepreneurs like me, probably like you, who sucked at the beginning when they started, because I've been doing this type of thing for a long time, and I still feel like I don't know anything, and like everything I'm going to say is just going to blow, right? But that's how everybody feels at the beginning, and it doesn't matter if it's the first thing you're doing, or if it's the first thing you're doing for the first time, even after you've been doing other things, right? Whatever it is, that feeling is going to pop up from time to time. So I had this idea of starting this podcast called I Used to Suck and having a bunch of, high level entrepreneurs come on and talk about how bad they sucked at the beginning, because the truth is that what matters is that you keep going, right? And that sounds like cliche and ridiculous, but it's the truth. What matters is that you keep going. So it doesn't matter if you don't have the perfect audio quality. It doesn't matter if you are just using your iPhone and you're not like in a perfect studio. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you do it, and then you keep doing it over the long term, which admittedly I have been bad at. And it's not because of the perfectionism thing. I don't know that I have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is distraction and and getting distracted and looking for something new, something more exciting. So this is me showing up in a way that is not exactly how I would want it to be, but I could sit here and try to figure out exactly what these videos are going to be about, or even what this channel is going to be about, or I could just start, right? So if you guys want to walk with me, I got something to tell you. Let's go. I wonder if anybody can see me in there. I don't know. So I kind of love coming over here in the middle of the day, because there's never anybody over in this spot in particular, and it's like one of the only places in Nashville where you kind of get this kind of view, those hills. Pretty sweet. Anyway, what were we talking about? We were talking about starting things even though they're not perfect. Okay, so story time. In 2014, I started a business doing retreats, and it was very imperfect. It was just an idea. It was kind of hard to explain, but I did it anyway. And here's what happened. People actually showed up and came to it, even though I wasn't 100% clear on exactly what it was, even though the content I was creating wasn't perfect, right? The lesson is not that I just happened to get lucky. No, the lesson is I stayed consistent with the message, and I kept posting about it. But it wasn't out of conscious thought. It was because I was naive. I didn't even know what good was. I had no idea if it was gonna buy it. And honestly, I didn't care, because I was just thinking about doing something fun that sounded fun to me at the time, and I just made it happen. And people were attracted to it because, and I didn't have perfect copy. I didn't know any marketing tactics, anything like that. I didn't know. All I knew was that I had this idea, and other people might be into it too. And what if I started talking about it? So that's what I did, and it worked. And then something happened. I think it's something that happens to all of us. I got smart. I got smart, and I learned a lot of stuff. And the things that I was learning made me second guess my intuition. It made me second guess the things that I felt like I was probably naturally good at anyway. And I'm telling you all this to say that you've probably felt that way too, right? I was just reading something today with this guy. I've been in the marketing industry for a long time, and I was just reading a post today that kind of sent me over the edge of frustration. I was like, man, I'm just tired of I'm tired of all of this knowledge that says you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. Like, yeah, 100%, that is great. It can work. You know what else can work? Just telling people about what you're doing and being consistent about it, right? That can work too. And it's so easy to get caught up in like this tactic or that tactic, or this is how you're supposed to do it, or that's how you're supposed to do it. And y'all, I just don't know that's a helpful thing. I don't think it's helpful to be constantly thinking about all these things all at once. I think it's confusing. And so honestly, this is one of the reasons why I decided to launch the Get Better retreat. And if you guys don't know, Get Better is a retreat that I am launching that is kind of taking me back to those roots that I've done in the past with the retreats. It's like, we're going to get outside, we're going to do some nature, we're going to, mastermind with each other, we're going to learn from each other. But then we're also, the only difference with this one is from the past ones that I've done, this one is focused on something that I call the castle framework. And what the castle framework is it helps us return to that place almost of naivete, right? And we're going to return to this place where everything started, right inside of us. And if we can get back to that feeling, that's step number one. And the second step of that is defining exactly what we want, right? Exactly where we want to go, the life we want, the relationships we want, the money business stuff we want, right? What is it that you actually want to do? But let me tell you where the castle idea came from. So I have a friend, acquaintance, mentor. His name's Richie Norton. He wrote a book called Anti-Time Management. What he talks about in the book is that we've been programmed to think that in order to have success, we have to build the moat first, and then we build the castle later. And the reason we think that is because when you go work for a corporation or a business that already exists, what do? That entrepreneur's already built the castle. They're sitting up top, and they want people to come in and protect the castle. So they hire all these people to protect the castle. But what are the protectors doing? They're building the moat, because the entrepreneur already has the castle. They already built it, right? And so we think that when we go out on our own, the first thing we have to do is build the moat, because that's what we're used to doing, and that's what we're used to seeing people do. But the reality is we have to build the castle first, and then you do whatever you have to do to protect the castle at all costs. But what is the castle? The castle is the business you want, sure. It's also the lifestyle you want. It's also the relationships you want. It's also the things in the way you want your day to look like, your lifestyle. That's the castle. And we tend to think that because, again, of the corporate idea of we're going to work for 50 years and then retire, and then we get to have the life we want. No. You have the life you want now, and then you build whatever you have to build to protect it. That's the idea of the castle. I decided to take that idea and turn it into a framework that I'm going to walk everybody through at this event, where we can get back to knowing what the castle even is, right? So that we can pursue it. And when we go back to our normal lives and our work after the retreat, we will be more likely to actually be doing the thing that we want to be doing. That's the goal, right? And so the way we're going to do that at this retreat is, I found certain things that kind of keep me in that space and keep me focused, right? When my mind starts spinning, what are the things that keep me focused? What are the things that bring me back to a grounded place? Because listen, the other thing about all these marketing tactics and things that I've learned is nothing is going to work if you're not grounded in presence. So how do we get grounded in presence? We move and we get outside and we adventure. So that's what we're going to be doing, some jujitsu. Have somebody come in that's going to walk us through some jujitsu. We got to do some breath work. We'll do that every morning, again, guided with a professional. And we'll do some cold, guided by a professional, cold exposure, high go plunges. And we're going to get out in nature and hike around in the mountains, because nothing will bring you back to presence quicker than those things, in my opinion and experience. And in scientific evidence, which I'm not going to cite here, but you can find it on your own. So anyway, I've gotten back to my roots with this idea because I want this to feel natural. And when I say I'm going to start selling this retreat and the name of it is the Get Better Retreat, that's what we're going to do. We're going to come, we're going to get better. And people who identify with that idea, and people who identify with the idea of the castle framework, right? And they're people who are feeling like they're in a place where they want to grow, they want to change, but they don't know what to do. Maybe they're feeling stuck. Maybe they don't feel like they have a community. So this is where we come to get better at all of those things all at once, so we can go back and we can actually feel grounded and present and living the life we want. So that's why this exists. So the way I'm promoting it right now is just talking about it more naturally and creating imperfect things and not worrying about making it perfect, because I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to make it perfect. I don't want to cloud my mind with all these tactics, because reality is, guys, we're dealing with human beings. I saw a video the other day where this person, it wasn't a video, it was a post, and this person was talking about all the conversions and how this converts and how that converts, and I get all these people converted, and I was like, man, let's stop trying to convert people. They're humans, man. Like, I get it, like it's marketing speak. I've done it too. I've been there too. I have thought like that too. But something has flipped in my brain to where I want to help people and I want to speak to them like they're humans. And so I'm going to talk to them about, in really plain language, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're going about it. And if you care about this and you like this too, here's how you can get in on it. And so it's not my first YouTube video, but it may as well be. I'm recording it just to let you know two things. One is that if you want to be good at marketing, start talking to people like they're humans and understand that they're living their own life and they don't actually care about your stuff. They care about them, and you need to help them, right? One of the ways you can do that is stop trying all these tactics and just speak to them. Tell them what your thing does and how it can help them and where they can get it, right? That's how that can work. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that I would love for you to come on the Get Better Retreat. If all that stuff sounds good to you, if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for a place to come meet and hang out with other entrepreneurs in the mountains, do some really cool stuff with some really cool people, and have an intentional space to find that piece of you that may feel lost, right? That may feel like, man, I need to reconnect. I need to find my thing again. That's what this is. So I'd love to have you out. You can go to getbetterlive.com to check out more about that. I'm only allowing 10 spots for this one. So make your way over there when you can. So go check it out, getbetterlive.com. But I love you guys. I'm gonna go get out of this Tennessee heat for a minute. Bye.